In the last episode, I went to Bishop for the first time, just for the weekend. But perhaps unsurprisingly, I fell in love.
I love Bishop!
So as soon as I could, I packed up the truck and went back there. Only this time I was solo and I ended up staying for 3 weeks. Psych was high, to say the least. So this episode is going to be all about what I learned there. And it was a lot. I spent a lot of time by myself. I was solo in the truck 24/7, except for when friends came to visit on the weekend. So I had a lot of time to think. And be cold. Very cold. All the time. But first things first, I had to get there. And the drive from Vegas to Bishop was harrowing. It is raining / snowing, going over the pass, insanely slow. Steep grades, sharp curve next 3 miles. Well, hopefully I will be out of this soon. Wow, that was a big puddle. Oh my. Okay, I should get off the phone and drive. You can see this, but I'm like so close to the wheel because the visibility is so goddamn bad. All of my back muscles hurt from sitting like this for so long. But gotta be safe. And now I gotta look out for puddles. Okay, bye. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but it was bad. Fortunately, after many painful hours, I made it. If you're new here, hi. I am an average rock climber who's trying to prioritize climbing for the year of 2024 and kind of share what happens along the way. So if you like this insane gorgeousness and you want to see more of this, hit subscribe. Opening the curtain and seeing this is just pretty sick. All I wanted to do the first week was try everything. I figured it was good to get used to the style and hopefully get some quicksand under my belt. Not this climb, but definitely this one. I call myself a slab climber and I was super nervous about flashing this V0.
Good flash.
Thank you. So I did that. I did the hunk, which you kind of saw in the intro, but here's the crux. It is a high wall V2. Like the length of a short route with serious consequences if you fall kind of tall. And of all the sandbagged 2s that I did at the Milks, probably the hardest. From here it's easier, you just have to keep it together. For a while. Next, Wimburies. The first move on this climb was so hard for me.
Ellie, you are tripping with that heel.
I pulled on one move in and flashed to the top, but it took me 2 sessions to put it all together, mostly because I could only do the first move maybe 1 in every 10 goes. Why? Well, the first move is kind of a power move, and the rest of the climb is like techie slab. That tracks perfectly with the things that I'm good at and not so good at. This climb was also notable because I made a major mistake. I tried it on my second day, so my skin wasn't adapted to the sharp granite yet. And the first move on this climb is kind of crimping these sharp crystals. Basically, I got blood blisters in my tips that took weeks to come out. And falls like this probably didn't help.
Oh, it's so slippery!
I was glad to get this end, but I had no idea what I'd gotten myself into. You know your skin is bad when doing this hurts. Also, this step up was a little spicy alone. I'm glad my foot stuck. In contrast to what I considered a super hard V4, there was this reasonable V5. Or at least, I thought it was reasonable. This is Larry Barteret, and it gets a flutter in the guidebook, which means it's supposed to be a bit scary.
is.
Got it. Okay, come on. I'm ready for them to do that. Come on. Good. Yup, you're on it.
Good.
Now, I just want to pause here for a second and show you this.
Delicate. You're good. I gotcha.
I'm just going to interject here and make it very clear that I'm including this for context only. This guy is a much stronger climber than me. He just sent High Plains Drifter in a session before getting on this.
Keep breathing. Yeah.
Good. Put your belly on it.
Good. Yes.
That was heinous.
Okay, back to me. I was expecting a battle. That guy is strong. But this is what happened.
Yeah, you're good. That's a good.
You're
Very nice.
Good. It's a bomber foot. Come on. Come on, Haley.
Yeah. Very good.
Nice.
Yes. Good footwork. Great.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Sick.
Good work.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that hard. And yet I've tried so many V4s and V5s at the Milks at this point that are really hard.
Yes, come on.
Come on.
Nice, you're right there.
Right there. Come on.
Oh, so good.
So this was clue number 1 to the biggest thing I learned in Bishop. Put that in your pocket. Look at those Mounties. It got below 20 degrees Fahrenheit overnight for a couple of nights at the Milks, so I headed to the Sads. And I had my eye on one particular climb. That climb is called French Press, and it is a V6 slab. I was really psyched to try it because hard slabs are kind of hard to come across. Here was my flash go.
I'm staying up here because it's warmer.
Yeah, nice.
Come on.
Get him.
Let's go. You got it.
The internet told me that establishing was the crux of the climb, so I was like, huh? I flashed the crux of a 6? Probably not. I gave it a few more goes, changed my shoes, and then this happened.
Yeah?
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Let's go.
Do you want a spot? Okay.
You got this. Slots there. At the hard spot.
Is there anything up there?
Maybe you can go further left. A couple feet over. Looks like possibly cash.
Let's go.
So
Yeah.
Nah, nothing wrong with that.
So I sent the climb that I came to the Sads for in under half an hour.
Slab screamo.
By far my fastest V6 ever, and the only one that's been pure slab. Clue number 2. Now, I live in Vegas, and Red Rock is hardly the slab capital of America. So when I travel to areas that do have slab and technical climbing, I seek those climbs out, because they're fun. At least for me. I realize not everybody shares this sentiment. So after French Press, I did this thing called finger painting, which had some of the most heinous holds I think I've ever touched. This is the left hand. It's basically all index. It's like Very small. But managed to put that one down kinda quickly too. Now wanna see what I didn't do? This V4 called the Fang. Note the non-vertical angle. I spent another day at the Sads because it was still pretty cold up at the Milks overnight, which I generally wasn't super stoked about except for this. Bishop has some pretty good bakeries, and I was kind of on fresh food rations camping up at the Milks. Got the goods. German 7 grain. Original sheep herder, cause obviously. Not tried this before, but I am excited. I frickin' love bread. Look at this. This is all bread. There's already like 8 kinds of bread in here and now I have 3 more. Not mad about it. Anybody ever tries to tell you that I don't make a mean sandwich, they are unequivocally wrong. In other news, remember Wimberries with that sharp first move? Blood blisters. Okay, back to the Sads. Another day, another 0-starred heinous vert climb. This is called You Gotta Be Kidding Me. It's a V5 and the guidebook description says, only if you're really desperate. I guess that's me.
Nice, come on.
I actually really enjoyed this climb. It was super technical and balancy. My favorite.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to this guy though.
I've been at the Buttermilks for like 5 days straight.
Is your skin just like horrendous?
It's like pretty worn down, but I've been climbing with 2 of my friends that climb viciously harder than me.
Oh, that's even worse for the skin.
Yeah. And they're Cessna V14s. But a lowly V10 climber.
We'll come back to this later. Next on the list of vertical technical climbs at the Sads, we have this, Slunk Left. It gets a V7 in the book, but that's eliminating a huge foot. I kinda tried it with and without the foot, but I only sent it with the foot on, which makes it about V5. I would love to come back and do Slunk, the line which goes to the right. It's a V9 and definitely on my list of climbs to try in the future. Here I have done all of the hard parts. But fortunately I could repeat it, without the punt. Unfortunately, I still couldn't send the Fang. Here's my best go, which to be fair was at the end of the day, again. I'm so slow at climbing this angle, which I think is part of why I find it so hard.
So slow.
Just looking for where to place this heel toe camp. I think I found it. Mama had to tape the front of her ankles for toe hooking because it was getting so scraped up. Such a boulder, horizontal roof climbing. Here's what was supposed to happen there. That drop down move is definitely the last hard move. This top hat is just kind of pumpy. So I'd like to think that I was close. Honestly, not sending a V4 after trying it for 2 days, even at the end of the day, kind of sucked. Sweet home. Hey. After another night at the pit, it was back to the milks. There's a cow. Look at him. Oh, and a quick skin update. Still blood blisters, still from Wimbury's. But I was stoked to be back at the milks. I mean, look at this. The happies and the sads just can't compete, at least not in my opinion. This is a V1 slab called 5 and Dime that I warmed up on, and it was just so nice. Love the milks. We're now coming to the end of the second week of my trip. I was still kind of trying to do a bunch of stuff, especially after sending French press, like this very aesthetic V3 called the Melanator. I biffed the flash on this by just kind of missing the move, but did it second go. But I flashed a couple of other 3s, and I think I did a 4, and I at least tried some 5s. And that brings us to... I was going to show you week 3 now, but this video is getting really long, so that's going to be in the next episode. In it, I project my first V8, work on an anti-style V5, and talk about the biggest thing that I learned in Bishop.
Yeah?
That I've kind of been teasing this whole video. Oh, and I climb with my coach Jessie in person for the first time. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you then.